Well, hello everybody. Monte here in the dark playing some Kerbal Space Program. Here on Monte Plays Games. So welcome. You know who's in the crew. Let's hit F2 and bring him back. This is Valentina and Bob Kerman. Last episode we had left the moon. We were done. Our science wasn't transmitting, which we'll try to go back and check. I think when we have all the solar panels and not half of them hitting the sun, we might be able to transmit the science. However, we're full up here with science, and we're in the that's Kerbin. You can't see it because it's on the dark side. But here's the maneuver. I'm hoping to bring us in somewhat close to Kerbal Space Center. And this episode, I also want to get a 2 satellites in orbit, and I'll time lapse it. But one for Kerbin geostationary, and another one just easier in a Kerbin equatorial orbit. And then we're going to end on a big note, which is I want to launch up Monte Station 1. So let's warp to this maneuver and get this episode started, shall we? Let's do it. So all I have to do here is go a little retrograde. And we have very little fuel left, 80 delta V left. The good news is we're already down to 52, so over time we have been burning into the atmosphere, slowly but surely. And I've actually done a bunch of air brakes. So I've had 50 here, and at this Apoaps, we were out at like 2 million, something way out there. So I'm excited to do it this way. And it looks like we might get lucky and land quite close to Kerbal Space Center, which more science, or not, more money returns is what that's going to be about. And I do have a 2-second burn coming up, so let's get our 4, 3, 2, all right, burn. And stop. We have a little bit of fuel left. So I'm going to use that as a last ditch effort. I'm going to say I'm good with that. You know what? No. Let's flip prograde. And launch off the rest of the fuel. I'm not even going to use it. We're just going to send that out into space. And we don't have a heat shield. I didn't realize I forgot a heat shield. I think I accidentally... Oh my goodness, we don't have a heat shield. I mean, it's... It's going to get hot. Love that crater. And the clouds are just doing fantastic. Now, I went down to the 2K. There's a 4K and an 8K version with clouds and all that stuff. And space is definitely less starry. The first episode I brought it back, I was at the 4K. But I don't run a 4K monitor, so I thought, I'll just do 2K. Plus, I know my ships are going to get more complex. So I might bump it back up. I'm just testing them out, just so you know. But on the note of just so you know, there's nothing I can do. No, that's a pretty shot. F2 hides the UI, by the way. And then I switched F12 to where it's only the screenshots. To see my aerodynamics, I switched that to, oddly, the print screen button. So there's that. So let's get into it. Warp. Oh. Why am I not? Oh, I gotcha. Because when I warp, I don't stick at that retrograde mark. Oh, here's the big desert. And I love the coloring now. It's all due to the mod. Bring us back a little bit. Now I know this is the little jet out thing before we have that mountainside there. And Kerbal Space Center should be right on the other side of the mountains. Yes, it is. We're still going to fall pretty short looking at it. I think we're going to fall probably on this side of the mountain. So, overburned a little bit, but that's going to keep us slow. Now I'm wishing I had a little bit more engine power to slow down just a little bit more. Now, if I turn off SAS and try to speed up, does my ship follow the retrograde nicely? Let's find out. If it flips over here, that's no good. So I'm going to throw down a quick save because this is a simulated experiment. Just kidding. Oh, let's slow down. This is getting hot. If that goes all the way up, I think we explode. Or if it goes all the way down, we explode. Either way, I don't like a bar. F11 is our temperature overlay. We are nice and toasty. Valentina doesn't even have her happy... There's your happy smile. Let's view... Because I don't want to look at that bar. Hey. Valentina, how you doing? What did you get us into? This would be your first trip there and back again to the moon. Like it. Like a true landing on the moon. And we have to not count that, you know, smash into the rocks that we did. You know, that was testing because we fell over. Honestly, I shouldn't have toppled over the ship in the first place. So yeah, as we thought, we're gonna land nicely here over this area. Let's take a crew report. Hey, look at that! While flying over Kerbal shores, 3.35 science. I'll take it. If I wait a little bit, I might get... No. How do I... Can Bob do a crew report? That would be nice, but... No. Maybe once we... Yeah. Anyway, we got a lot of science. We got all the good science. Mystery goo. Surface sample. EVA. Temperature scan. Another EVA, atmospheric pressure scan, and another mystery goo. Oh no, mystery goo was 6. So yeah, surface sample, EVA, temperature. What is this? EVA of the Munzi's crater. Oh, and then just above. Nice. So we're gonna keep everything. Parachutes are nice. Yeah, you guys thought I forgot about the parachutes. And that brings us down to 17.1 meters per second. That's still dangerous, so let's speed up. At 1500, I'm gonna see if at times 4 if my parachutes explode. I don't think they will. I'm gonna launch my final parachute, and at 1000. Oh no, even higher up. It opened up, and look at that, we are below 10. We shouldn't explode too hard. I could see these getting a little weird. I cut those. Now we're nice and straight. That looks better. Kinda was overkill. And then right before we hit the bottom, look at all the pretty little trees and stuff out here. I can slow that down. I don't think I can get another crew report here. I'd have to overwrite it, so. Yeah, it's all good. Might jump out and get a surface sample. Calm yourself. Oh, I thought we blew up. What blew up? Okay, we're here. That's all that matters. You're a scientist. Go find out what happened. Maybe there was like an invisible heat shield. Take a surface sample. 0.1 science. You better give me that 0.1 science. And then EVA report. Fine. Not even going to put down a flag. So get back in board. And let's recover the vessel. Because we have satellites to get into orbit. But we made it back. Valentina, Bob. Well done, my friends. 329.6 science earned. For a total of 424. Nice. That's nice. Alright. 420 plus change. Can't complain about that. MK2 command pod, MK16, everything. 92% value. And I clicked on it a little bit too fast at the end. I think we had Bob getting a level. Yep, Bob is now a level 1 scientist. I love that you can see what they do. Look at that. He actually now gets vessel science return of 105%. Part science return of 105%. Reset experiments, which any other scientist can do, which we don't have. Run experiments from EVA. Oh, I didn't know that. And science generation rate of 35%. Now, engineers have an increased drill efficiency and increase in resource converter. So good to know if we ever do mine. I mean, we're going to do mining. I haven't done the mining. I did old school mining with mods before it was possible. So there's that. So the only other thing is I do have a tourist, the Monte Cruise V6. I still got to bring this home. Oh, look at that. It's actually in a pattern to get, let's at least go look at it. We're not going to show this landing because we've landed the V6 before. And it's bringing up Jensen and Dilbald and Joel Mund and everybody here. And they're heading back. They have done their transfer window from the moon. They orbited for 34 days. By the way, Valentina and Bob were in space. Their total mission time for their moon landing and all that was 33 days. So this tour has lasted a day longer. It actually did launch a day before because they wanted to be in the orbit of the moon during the first Kerbal moon landing. That's how special these guys paid the big bucks. So I'm going to get them back home. No big deal. So back to the Space Center. Let me show you my satellites that I'm going to send up. Let me do that in the vehicle assembly building. And I think they're already pre-built. Look at that. And they probably have parts that I can't use because that's how I do. No, just kidding. So I want to do the Sat Kerbal Keo. Now, the nice thing is, if you look under the hood here, I needed to add a Science Junior. Now, the mission calls out for a material bay. That's what the Science Junior is. So let me scroll down. I could just click on these. But yeah, have a materials bay. Have a thermometer. So there's the thermometer. There's the materials bay. There's the power. And there's the antenna. So the little green lights are just batteries sticking out. I thought that looked kind of cool. So I have that going on. Yeah, that's it. Very simple. All liquid fuel. No kickers, nothing like that. But it does have a nice probidobidine OKTO. Bwam! So that has SAS control. So that's pretty cool. Helps me get in orbit. So I, you know what? For how we're doing on time, you guys let me know if you really want to see these things like get launched and go into orbit. But I would rather show you what I really want to work on. Because there's no point. These don't add to the comms network. Nothing like that. But what I wanted to show was for 19,000, it lets us do those missions. But what I want to see here, and it's called the Moon Station. That's not right. Monte Kerbal. Let's load it. I think I might have just labeled it. Nope. So this was what I was originally thinking as the first bit of the station. And it was going to go to the moon originally, was the original build for this guy. But now I want to get this one started in Kerbal. But for that mission, we need... Oh, by the way, look at that. Collected 22% of 50% of the surface deployed mystery goo observations. So that science is on the way. When it hits 50%, we'll complete that automatically. We need to have a facility supporting at least 6 Kerbals. Right now this supports 5. So let's see here. How about Monte Station 1? I bet that's it. Yes, here we go. Looks fairly similar. Same launching stages and everything. So let's look at it from the top. There's a docking... Whoa, there's a docking port up top. For future expansion out of this direction. Or to be fair, it's a nice place to dock for ships on the inbound. And this is just going to be the start of the space station. We're definitely going to add on to it. It has some radiator extendable panels. We don't have extendable power yet on this, even though we did just get a bunch of science. I don't think we're going to go with electricity. I have overkill on high gain antennas, but it looks kind of cool. We've got mono fuel. This is the first time we've played with RCS in the campaign. And this guy holds 1, 2, and this guy holds 4, so 6. Now this is kind of interesting. This is, I use structure pieces, and I'll probably show myself building these at some point. But I kind of just space out and build, and then I don't even remember how I build it. But I played with like structural fuselage, some like fuel converter parts. These are just the little in the command. Here are the little RCS fuel ports. They look like little like jacuzzi jets. And then I did like these weird little connectors. This is just a fuel connector cone, and added docking ports on all 4 sides. Plus, scroll down a little bit more, another docking port here. So that's a total of 4, 5, 6 docking ports to get to our new station. So that's it. Maybe I'll time-lapse like the next part. No, I mean, I don't think there's any science on here. This is about completing the mission and getting our first station into orbit. The fuel is barely enough. I'm looking for a 100K circularized equatorial orbit. And then we're going to go from there. It's got monopropellant, so RCS movements once we're up there to kind of help connect if we need it. But my plan will be next time bring up a science module, because Monte Station 1, we'll see you on the platform. Let's get on out of here. And before we launch that into space, let me click on the research and development and see what we've got going on here. I would like to get advanced exploration for that mobile processing lab, because I want that, which is about the same size as that capsule that you're seeing that holds the 4 Kerbals. And then it's got like some ladders, which are but a nice big container module. We can even fit the materials bay science junior in that. And a scanning arm, because I don't know why. And then I'm also thinking this guy, which is like my episode 1 thumbnail, has this cupola module for the space station, along with a real nice command pod, lander cans and things like that for like, and it comes with this Mooner excursion module, the MEM. I've never used it. It looks pretty cool. So no votes on this one. I think I'm just going to go for it. Also, I really think I need more power. Like, this is the extendable photovoltaic panels. Oh, no. I'm going to go with research for 300 and get the seismic accelerometer. Plus way more relay antennas. So we can keep working on the comms network. Now we only have 124. I'm going to go ahead and add some of the low-hanging fruit here, as one would say. The landing. So now we're down to 34 science. We got to get back up in space. But now we have more science tools, more fun things to play with. But let's see about closing this one out with a space station in the Kerbal orbit. So let's get that on the launch pad, and I'll catch you on the flip. Actually, bringing you back in here because of the ORFs. We need to bring... Actually, we'll have 1 in each lander can. 2 pilots. Now, it needs to have room for 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Check. But 2 pilots need to go. And because the ORFs were stuck in space, and they seem to handle that quite well, We'll say that that was their experiment before needing rescued. We're sending them right back up. And because they're the only two with the Orfs. So Camlorf, sorry, and Kerdorf are launching into space. And again, like I said, I want to go for that 100K mark. But if I can get into orbit, I'm happy with that. That's my goal. What I'm going to have to be careful with is my thrust to weight ratio, the TWR. Because I don't get to control this, I can only control this as far as my throttle. We're going to start max throttle. It's the only way we know how. Do I have a... What is this? Oh, it's my... There's a little bay at the top that has what looks like a fairing kind of thing. But it's not. It's just... It's this guy. I could enable cutaway. But we're not going to do that now. Yeah. Space. So full speed. And as the TWR goes up, we are going to throttle down. This is a beautiful shot. I'm going to hit F2. Do a nice little F12. F2 real quick because I forgot to say SAS. And look at that. Even without control, we were going for a nice straight shot. And Kerdorf, by the way, is driving this with his mustache. That's how epic Kerdorf is. It is pretty epic. We can't look at each other because they're in different command modules, wondering who's driving this. And the answer is I am, from my own Kerbal Space Program Center. Oh, I just realized I'm aiming this way. Looking at this, pointing at 90. I would have been turning the wrong way. So I wasn't paying attention. My TWR got real high, so I'm dropping it down real low. Plus, that's going to save me on my liquid fuel. Like almost off is where I'm going to go with this. Oh, nope, 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 nope. See, and that's what happens when you don't control your TWR. So let's try that again. Revert flight to launch. I'm actually I haven't tested this out. I mean, I built it, but I did know because of these big tanks, I got to watch the velocity there as we go. So let's max it up. SAS. Go. No. Revert. Nope. Revert flight. I know what's bugging me. Is I don't like facing north when I need to do a 90-degree turn. So let's grab the whole ship and turn it. Thank you. So the door is facing this way. The rockets are going to look a little bit... Alright, we're going to fix it. Why do I have a light? I took a light off. Whoops. Who's missing their light? 1, 2... I broke it. I really, really broke it. Oh man, Alright, so we're going to just reload this. Don't save. Monte orbital. No, Monte station 1. We're going to click the whole thing. We're going to turn it. We're going to unclick it. There we go. No lights getting lost. No big deal. Now, I do want to fix this. And then go double. Boom, 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 boom. Turn sideways. Go like this. Bada boom, bada bing. And I'm going to lower the thrust a little bit. Just a little bit. Save it. Do we have the right pilots? No. Valentina, get off. I'm glad I checked. The Lorfs are already thinking they're getting away from it. Not happening. So let's head on out. A quick SAS launch, no countdown, because who needs countdowns? We just got a big red button, and Camlorf presses the big red button. Ooh, see how we're going slower? That's because I lowered that thrust to start. It's a big boy. And no fairings, nothing protecting all this stuff. It's a little dirty. A little dirty, but that's okay. We'll spot in the distance. I wonder what that is. Min-miss, do you think? Right where the edge of the cursor is. Huh. So let's open this up. Open that up. Not a lot, but I am going to drop my throttle down some. If I drop my throttle down all the way, what I realize is I don't then have gimbal control. So there's the problem there. And I don't want to drop it down too fast. We're only at 26, but yeah, 1.4, 1.5, it's going up. And it's going up because the atmosphere is getting thinner, and we are getting lighter as we burn fuel. At least that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Throttle's down to 50%. I'm going to throw down a quick save because we're doing pretty good, and we don't need to go all the way back before this, because this is either going to work or it's not. I'm going to drop throttle down to about 45%. Actually, even less, keeping it below 2. We are now at 18 kilometers, Apple Apps. We want to get that up there. And if I can get 100 on this and 100 on that, I'm going to be pretty happy. I don't really trust gravity turning yet, but I'm going to try. Gonna try. Oh, shouldn't have done it. Shouldn't have done it. Shouldn't have done it. Gonna try. Full power to engines to give me control. Aim prograde. And you know what? No. Hold down F9. I had a right to be afraid to gravity turn, and I shouldn't have done it. Absolutely no need, because we want to get higher up, so I don't mind just letting it burn. That's the problem with putting these solid fuel boosters on here, is less control on the way up. Hence why I'm just gonna, I can still do the whole throttling down as long as I stick straight up. It's looking good, because I went pretty high up. I don't like being up above 2, but I don't want to drop this down anymore, because then I'll lose control. But in a minute we're gonna hit 48 and climbing. This is good. And as soon as I lose the solid fuel boosters, which is soon, I'm going to cut those off and kill my engines. Now we're talking. Now we're getting up into orbit. Now I don't want to turn too much. How about another quick save? I don't have much fuel, but we have 1,667 MS. So delta V, however you want to look at that, left to try to get ourselves in orbit. So what I'm going to do is aim at this 90 line for the equatorial north line to go north. And yeah, so for the satellite, I'm going to have to do the opposite. I'm going to have to go not 90. I'm going to have to go, what is it, 270 or something like that? For the equatorial orbit satellite. And then for the geosynchronous one, I got to be up above a certain point. So I almost have to do a rendezvous maneuver to make sure I'm over the right point. So I'm going to have to show that off soon as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start burning. I'm not even going to put this in. Oh, I say that, and then here I go. Just so you guys can see, I'm going to add a maneuver and add some forward velocity. Just so you can see, we don't have enough fuel for this, but it's kind of what I want to do. Kind of what I want to do. So I'm going to kill my burn. Let this clock down a little bit more efficient. Not much. We're getting there, folks. We're getting there. I'm going to press the number 2 key. Oh, nope. There we go. Number 1 key. Let's get those going on first. We'll turn the lights on once we're totally ready. Let's burn all we got, folks. Try to get into orbit. I don't know if we have the power. Prograde power. Running low on fuel. Get you some. I think we waited a little too long, and we might have wasted a little bit by spinning around a little bit too much. Oh, we're getting so close. I just don't think we're going to be able to pull it off. Oop, shouldn't RCS. But that's all I could think we could do now is RCS forward. I don't know how to change it to a the proper velocity. See, so we almost made it into orbit, but we waited, I think, a little bit too long. See, these little fairing things popped off. Oh, and then my docking port pops off. So that's no good. I don't like this thing. I'm just going to put a normal cone like I did down at this end. Yeah. Structural cone piece. So that was bummed up. And the little green lights are just batteries sticking through because I like using that effect. But let's look at it real quick. And I'm going to do, what's the number 3 button do? Ha, ba-da. And then the number 2 button. Ta-da! Da-da-da-da-da. All right, this is a failed spaceship that would burn into the atmosphere. But there you have it. It's almost there. If I... See, there's no way to see the controls from here. I don't know how to switch my RCS from, like, this kind of RCS to, like, a vertical thrust maneuver. It's not shifts. It's not C. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think we have enough RCS fuel to get back into space anyway. So let me load back, which I can't do because I did that save. I need to load back anyway and fix the design. I don't like... oh, hello. This could be fun. Oh, it's going to hit the radiator. Watch it. Oh, nice. Yeah, this could just be fun destruction now. I don't like what happened with my front end here. I mean the back end. Here we go. Let's watch it burn up. Come on now. Let's turn that RCS off. Let's go retrograde. Whee! Antenna broke off. Yeah, I gotta fix this end so I get a proper docking port. But I don't want to just show the things working out fine. I like showing the craziness. The realism of me not knowing what I'm doing. I like to... This is what happens when you live off of hopes and dreams. You just kind of pack fuel into the boosters and do what we do. I might add another set of kickbacks, speaking of more boosters. I'll fix the top. Actually, boosters weren't the problem. Remember, I didn't get control until too late. I mean, it would boost me up and then out. A more efficient launch would probably get me into orbit. But let me fix this. Maybe less monopropellant. I can always bring more monopropellant. Kind of doing overkill on that. So I could lose some weight, obviously. And we'll go from there. Look at that. We actually didn't burn up on the re-entry. I am quite impressed. We could land this thing if I put landers and parachutes on it. Have a mobile base. Not mobile, but, you know, another Kerbal base set up. But that's not what's going to happen. And I will just try to get the ship up in orbit at the beginning of next episode. I think this was a little entertaining. Watching me fail get into orbit. Orbiter 1, fail. We'll try Orbital 2. Lights off in the dark for the crash that's about to happen into the waters of Kerbal. And yeah, on this note, I will catch you on the flip side. You guys will hopefully have better luck on your first launch than we did here today. But we'll get it there. I'm not too worried. Take care, everybody. Keep on keeping on.